Hi, 8th grade. Welcome to Topic 4 Review. Number 1. What type of linear association does a scatter plot show? Well, remember, we read from left to right. So going from left to right, the line goes downward. Since it goes downward, that means it's a negative line. So I'm going to cross out positive, strong positive, and weak positive. Now we have to decide whether it's strong or weak. That tells with how close the dots actually are to the line. Since there's really only one dot on the line, I'm going to say that this is weak negative. If it was strong, they would all be very, very tight to the line, like right on top of it. Number 2. The two-way frequency table shows the different numbers of stores in two different cities. Complete the column two-way frequency table. Since it's asking for the column two-way frequency table, we're just going to be looking at the individual columns. Please be careful to read. So remember, relative frequency is when we find the percentage, so we have to divide. So we're going to take our part. Well, we already have the 43% filled in here. So we're looking at retail from city A. That's 123. And the total from city A, that's 217. Divide those and multiply by 100. That gives me 57%. Next, 217 divided by 217 times 100 should be 100%. Since it's a column frequency table, all the totals for the columns should be 100%. Then restaurants in city B is 75. Out of total in city B is 183. So we do 75 divided by 183 times 100 equals 41%. All right, number 3. The scatter plot shows the average weights of children at a pediatrics clinic. Write an equation for the trend line. So remember, y equals mx plus b. We want to start with the b first. That's the easiest one to find. So that's where it crosses the y-axis. Let's look and see how much these are going up by each time. We got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So our b is 10. That's where it crosses the y-axis. Next thing we look for is the slope. So how much it goes up versus how much it goes over. So I'm going to use those 2 points. It travels up 3 boxes, but remember that each box is worth 10. So it goes up 30. Then it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So slope is rise over run. So that's our 30. I don't know why I wrote 4 because I said 5. 30 over 5. 30 divided by 5 is 6. So our equation of our line is y equals 6x plus 10. Next, part B, using this linear equation, so y equals 6x plus 10, predict the average weight of a 7-year-old. Well, if we see here, age is on the x-axis. So that means I'm going to plug the age in for x. So I'm going to rewrite the equation, y equals 6, but instead of x, I'm going to put in 7 plus 10. PEMDAS tells me I have to multiply first, so 6 times 7 is 42. Now I'm going to add 42 plus 10, so the average weight of a 7-year-old is 52 pounds. Number 4. The table below shows the ages of employees over 50 at a company and the amount of money they have in their retirement accounts. Use the data to construct a scatter plot. Well, the first thing you want to do with the scatter plot is figure out how much it's going up and over by. So to go from 60 to 80, that's 20 with 2 boxes in between, meaning each box has to be worth 10. So I'm going to fill these in. Then looking here, 52 to 56, that's adding 4, but there's 2 boxes in between, so each one has to be adding 2. So this is 54, this is 58. All right, now I'm going to plot my points. 52 and 73,000, so I'm going to go to 52, follow it up to 70, and I know 73 has to be a little bit above that. 54 and 81,000, so I go to 54, follow it up just a little bit above 80. 53 and 110,000, So 53 is going to be in between 52 and 54, followed up to 110. Then 55 and 122. And last, 58 and 92. Part B, describe the relationship between the two sets of data and what it means in the problem situation. Well, if I wanted to, I could put my pen in the middle of the two lines, and it looks linear, but we can also describe linear as positive or negative. So this one's going up, so that's positive, and strong or weak. Those dots are pretty far away from the line, so it is weak. But please don't forget to describe what it means in the situation. So what it means in the situation is as age increases, so does the amount in the account. So as age increases, money increases. Next, question number 5. In a survey, 135 adults were asked where they prefer to live. So that's where that 135 came from. Complete the two-way frequency table. So remember, we have to add and subtract. So if this total is 73 and there's 23 females, that means there must be 50 males who want to live in the country. Here, if there's a total of 62 people who want to live in the city and 42 of them are male, that means 20 have to be female. Now we can add the males who want to live in the country and the males who want to live in the city. That's 92. Tells me there's 92 total males. Adding up the females, 23 plus 20 is 43. So there's a total of 43 females. So part B, which statement is true? Select all that apply. More males than females were surveyed. Let's look. There were 92 males and 43 females, so that is true. More males want to live in the city than the country. 42 males want to live in the city, and 50 males want to live in the country, so that is not true. More females want to live in the country. There's 23 that want to live in the country, and 20 live in the city, so that is true. And more males want to live in the country, so males that live in the country is 50. Then the total for the city, total amount of people that want to live in the city is 62, and that is not true. Last but not least, select the appropriate linear equation for the trend line. Well, again, y equals mx plus b. The easiest one to start with is b. B is where we begin, where we cross the y-axis. So that crosses right there at positive 1. So I can cross off b and I can cross off c. The next thing I'm looking at, the only difference is the slope. Here there's a positive slope and here there's a negative slope. Looking at this line, it's going upward. So that is a positive slope. The answer is A. All right, 8th grade. Good luck on your test. You'll do great.